What's up, y'all? Today we're back with another graphic breakdown. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we start out with a white background that has a gradient overlay on it, and basically it's just a noise layer. As you can see, it just looks pretty grainy. You just do that by going up here to noise and click add noise. I just put a gradient layer mask on that so that it's just on the bottom part of the graphic. And then we have our two shots of like sort of the background. So basically it's just the stadium, and then this is just another shot to like add some depth to that. It's just a generative fill, so that's how I got that, just using Photoshop's AI. Then put a gradient over all that using the gradient tool right here and a layer mask. Then we just put these two strips up top and insert these two lion photos in there. So that one's set to overlay at 30% opacity. That one's set to overlay at 30% opacity as well. And then just a yellow rectangle. And I put a gradient overlay over top of that whole group. So that just makes it pop a little more. Again, I do that a lot. Just click gradient overlay. Click overlay, that usually works the best, but I definitely would mess around with it. And then just move the opacity around and the scale around to get that how you want it. And then we have our foot shadows. So basically just like two ellipses and then a little bit of shading underneath him and his feet where he'll be in a minute. And then we just have game week, simple enough. And I use that layer and then right click and converted it to shape. And then when you convert it to a shape, you can go over here and click on the shapes icon and put a stroke around it. It'll be up here in the top left. So I put a red stroke and a yellow stroke. And then we have our player cutout, and I gave him some motion blur. So that's what it looks like originally, but then I just put some motion blur on the outside of him, so like it looks like he's like flexing, so his arms are a little bit blurry. I like painted it in. Obviously you can see this layer mask here. I painted it in on his arms a little bit and his legs a little bit. Just the parts that I thought would like kind of be moving. And then we have the logo lockup down here, which is just logos, and then if you hold control, or if you hold alt and then click in between layers, you can just lock it into just that square. So that's what it would look like if you didn't do that. And if you do that, then it just shows up in the square. And I put gradient overlays on both of those squares so that shows up on top of the logo. So both of the logos have gradients. And we just have the verses in between. Then we just did the apply image thing where you make a new layer, come up here, image, click apply image, and then convert to a screen layer and then put a Gaussian blur on it. And I just painted that light in around him to make him just glow and pop a little more. And add that last little text there, and that's it. So super simple graphic. This will be on my Patreon. You can go check it out. If you or someone you know wants a commitment graphic, I'm dropping the price down for this month to $75 a graphic. So let me know. So DM me on social media if you're interested.